Did you know that referees in darts matches make mistakes more often than you think? When this happens, the darts players can be very aggressive towards the referee. We take you through all these moments. Referees are tasked with ensuring fair play and maintaining order on the stage. However, sometimes the referees themselves become the subject of controversy, as was the case in a Premier League match between Michael van Gerwen and Johnny Clayton in Aberdeen. Van Gerwen had led 4-2 and looked to be on course for victory, but ultimately lost 6-5 to Clayton in the final at the P&J Live. The partisan Scottish crowd had been jeering and booing Clayton throughout the match, which led to referee Bray having to intervene on several occasions. Despite Bray's efforts, the whistling and booing continued into the deciding leg, much to the annoyance of Van Gerwen. The Dutchman took issue with Bray's timing of the phrase "thank you" prior to his throws, and the pair had a heated exchange at the end of the match. "I was so annoyed by the referee," Van Gerwen told Sporting News NL. "I think he put his stamp on this match too much. That thank you from him to the crowd happens every time I have to throw." Van Gerwen's frustration was understandable, as he felt that Bray's repeated interventions had disrupted his rhythm and concentration. As a referee, he doesn't have the authority to kick anyone out, and it was clear that one annoying whistler wouldn't stop. Still, he went on. "That distracts me," Van Gerwen said. Speaking to Dutch broadcasters Viaplay, Van Gerwen went further, stating that Bray's behaviour was extremely irritating, and that he felt the referee had made a mistake. "I have a whistling audience 100 times a year, that's part of it. But now every time I wanted to throw it, he turned to say something." It was a frustrating end to a match that had seen Van Gerwen play some excellent darts, but ultimately fell short. The defeat also saw him surrender top spot in the league table to Clayton, who had earlier defeated home favourites Gary Anderson and Peter Wright en route to the final. Joe Cullen is no stranger to tournament wins, having secured his 4th victory of the season at the Hungarian Darts Trophy. The 2022 Masters champion and Premier League runner-up walked away with a top prize of £25,000, earning his 3rd European Tour glory and his first win since the 2020 International Darts Open. However, Cullen's quarter-final match against Rusty Jake Rodriguez was not without controversy. During the game, Cullen was called for a foul throw by the legendary referee Bray. The call came after Cullen hit a single 10 and then fell short of the double 5 bed, hitting the single 5 bed instead. In an attempt to start fresh at 20, Cullen casually threw his final dart of the visit to bust. However, Bray called him for stepping over the line on his final dart and announced 15, causing confusion and frustration for Cullen. Convinced that he had not overstepped the line, Cullen challenged the referee and looked to his opponent Rodriguez for support. To the surprise of many, Rodriguez seemed to back up Cullen's plea, prompting Bray to change his mind and announced no score.
"Okay, last score, no score."
It was a bizarre moment that left fans and commentators scratching their heads. Despite the controversy, Cullen managed to keep his focus and went on to win the match 6-4. He then faced Dave Chisnell in the semi-final, surviving 3 missed match darts to win 7-6. It was a nail-biting match that kept fans on the edge of their seats until the very end. Due to this incident, Darts Live even tweeted, "VAR in darts? Don't forget to hit the bullseye, so you never miss out on any of our amazing darts videos." Gerwen Price, aka the Iceman, is one of the most talented players in the world of darts. Known for his aggressive style of play and steely demeanour, he has won numerous tournaments and cemented his place among the elite of the sport. However, even the best players can't control everything that happens on the oche, and in one memorable incident at the Bahrain Darts Masters, Price found himself on the receiving end of a rare mistake by referee Bray. Price was facing off against fellow top seed Peter Wright in the final of the prestigious tournament, and things weren't going well for him. Down 10-5 and struggling to find his form, he was seemingly on the verge of a heavy defeat. However, just when things seemed to be going from bad to worse, Bray provided Price with a reason to smile. In a moment that would have made even the most serious darts fan chuckle, Bray forgot about a scheduled break in play and started calling the next leg, even though Wright had already wandered off the stage. Price, who was still at the oche practicing his throws, couldn't help but laugh at the referee's mistake, and even Bray, who initially looked a bit sheepish, soon joined in the fun with a smile of his own. Despite the light-hearted moment, there was still one more leg to be played in the match. Unfortunately for Price, it wasn't enough to turn the tide, as Wright closed out an 11-5 victory to claim the title. But even in defeat, Price could take solace in the fact that he had managed to find a moment of levity in an otherwise tough match. One of the most controversial moments that took place during the quarterfinals at the Grand Slam of Darts in Wolverhampton. Michael van Gerwen faced off against Gary Anderson in what promised to be a thrilling matchup. As the match progressed, tension mounted on both sides. Anderson fought hard to stay in the game, but ultimately it was van Gerwen who emerged victorious with a final score of 10-8. However, just before the end of the match, something remarkable happened that left fans scratching their heads and sparked heated debate. It all came down to a crucial moment when van Gerwen had to check out with 78 points. The scoreboard, as well as the paper scores next to the stage, showed that he needed exactly 78 points to win the leg. Van Gerwen hit his shots and checked out, but then things took a strange turn. Referee Bray had called out that van Gerwen still needed 78 points, which left the Dutchman confused and frustrated. Van Gerwen knew he had hit his shots and didn't understand why Bray was calling out the wrong score. It wasn't until later that it became clear that Bray had made a mistake earlier in the leg, when van Gerwen was on 342 and threw single 5, single 19 and triple 19. That is 78 points, but Bray then called 82 points. To make matters worse, the marker on the stage had also written down 82, so no one noticed that van Gerwen had actually scored too few points to win the leg. It was only after the match, when fans started reviewing the footage, that the mistake became clear. Van Gerwen had been robbed of a crucial point, and many fans were left wondering whether the outcome of the match might have been different if the referee had made the right call. Of course, mistakes like these are rare in professional darts, but they do happen from time to time. And when they do, they can have a huge impact on the outcome of a game. When Clarkson faced off against his Dutch compatriot Christian Kist, the 29th seed got off to a strong start, winning the opening 2 sets and both sets going to a deciding 5th leg. However, Kist was not one to go down without a fight and came back roaring back to take the 3rd set 3-0. Clarson was quick to acknowledge the challenge Kist posted, saying, "I started well, but the problem I've had in the last few months is losing focus, and I lost focus in the 3rd set." Despite his lapse of focus, Clarson was able to regroup and swept the 4th set to clinch the victory with an impressive average of 96.97. Clarson attributed his success to a major change he made 2 years ago, stating, "I changed my throw and my darts. I don't have that much action with my throw now. I made it a little simpler, and the first 3 months I played rubbish." However, but the real controversy came in the final match of the evening between Spanish qualifier Reyes and Wes Newton. Reyes got off to a strong start, winning the opening 2 sets before Newton mounted a comeback to level the match at 2-2 and force a deciding set. The final set went back and forth until the players found themselves locked together at 5-all in the final leg. Referee Paul Hinks made a critical error by insisting the players would not need to throw for the ball, and the leg commenced. However, shortly after, it became clear that the players did need to throw for the ball, and the leg was stopped and restarted. The confusion and controversy ultimately favoured the underdog, as Reyes held his nerve to upset the world number 13 and advance to the next round. It was a dramatic end to an action-packed evening at the Ali Pali, leaving fans and players alike stunned and shaking their heads in disbelief. Don't forget to hit the bullseye so you never miss out on any of our amazing darts videos. See you next time.